Okay, Dad. Well, I got your watch. Thank you very much. It came bright and early this morning. Some poor soul was driving around long before I woke up at 7 a.m. and dropped this little guy at my door. I took it out of its packaging, and this is what I found. So it's just a simple cardboard. It's nothing special. It's just to protect the actual case for the watch on the inside. So this is the actual case itself. It's actually kind of nice. I mean, it's not a well-made or high-quality case, but it's a case nonetheless. And cases, just so you know, really important to people who collect watches. Always save your case. When you go online and you look for watches, usually the higher end ones certainly, but even folks you can tell when they are serious about their watches will save their cases. And so I will be saving this because I want to take up more room in my closet, right? For the next 3 decades, 4 decades. So my kids try to figure out what to do with this. So anyway, it's a nice case. You can kind of see it. There's these little snaps here. That's kind of a nice little feature, I thought. Unnecessary, but nice, right? So you open it up, and voila, you got your watch here. Oh, this thing fell off. Let's put that back on right there. So you've got your watch. We'll talk about that in a moment. You have an extra band. So this is a nylon band. The watch itself comes with a leather band. So a lot of watch wearers who take their watch wearing seriously, like I do, will actually have multiple bands in storage, and they can quickly swap out a band for an existing watch to something else. The purpose is, maybe you're going out on the town and the leather band that it comes with, you want something a little more sporty or something like that, you can slap this on. This is a nylon weave, fairly nice. They're waterproof, they're easy to clean, they handle sweat well. So these are good depending on your activity. Maybe you're going dancing with your old lady, right? Something along those lines. The box also comes with over here. I'm not really sure why this is like a Velcro. Maybe this is a patch you can put on your uniform or something like that. Again, it's the same printing, so you'll notice these are the same. So I think this says Seagull on it. It's probably a general box they put other watches in. I really don't know. But what I do notice is that there's these little slots here. So oftentimes, people, again, who are into their watches may actually travel with watches. So you might actually put other bands in here. There's a wider spot here. Maybe you put a couple of more watches in here that you can wear. Usually, those cases that you carry for, say, trips and vacations and whatnot for watches carry anywhere from to four watches, right? And they look like a trifold wallet. So, but this is the box. So let's go ahead and take this little guy out. So it comes on a cushion. This is pretty standard. The cases that I have these little cushions in them, and you wrap them around like this. It helps them keep their form. So and keep the bands in good condition, right? So let's move that out of the way. So here is the watch, right? You can definitely tell the face is green, right? Let me see if I can get that a little bit closer. Look at that. Oh, God, that's so beautiful. Nice leather band, 20 millimeters, as I said. 20 millimeters is actually the space in between this and that. So this space right in between there is 20 millimeters. And so they get as small as 15, 16. If you go back in time to, say, the 1930s and before, now they're a little bit bigger, anywhere from 18 to 20, maybe even a little bigger for some of the larger watches. This is a 40 millimeter watch, I believe. So 40 millimeter would be the size of the face. That's what they use. But look at this nice green. I mean, you could just see it, and the camera doesn't pick it up, that iridescence that I see with my own eye. Um, you have the second hand over on this side. You can actually see it slowly move. There you go. If I just pause, you can kind of see that little hand in the chronograph. This one over here is actually kind of a stopwatch function. So when I click this button, you will see the second hand at noon start to tick. And so for every minute that goes by, this little guy over here will then tick 1 minute. And so this is a pilot watch. So you can imagine a pilot, taking a time at a set point, clicking this, and they say, at 2.5 minutes, you drop your bomb or whatever you do. So you click this, it stops. You click this, and it resets, and you saw it go back to high noon. It is a manual watch, so you do have to wind it. Um, only wind it when you need to. But otherwise, it will actually wind itself as I wear it. So they suggest anywhere from 6 to 10 hours in a day to get a full winding of the watch. So you don't actually have to wind it, but that's assuming you wear it all the time. I might wear this for a few days in a row and then switch to something else, just the nature of the way I like to wear watches. But it's a beautiful watch. You can see that text. It's absolutely fabulous. Definitely, you know, harks back to a bygone era of the 1930s, 20s, 30s time frame, maybe even teens. That was a very common font on these style of watches. But one of the things I want to point out is kind of the owner's special. So in the watch world, one of the nice things about a watch is if you can see the inner workings through the back. And that's something usually no one else can see but the owner. And when you flip this little guy over, you can actually see all those workings. Let's see if I can get that. So see all those. Oh my gosh, look at that. And you can see the little pink circles in there. So those little pinks, those are actually rubies. So to give you an example, rubies are very hard as a stone, as a mineral. And so they like to use them. And so the shafts will spin in there, and it basically, with a little bit of lubricant, won't wear out. Not nearly as fast as other types of materials. That's why you always hear, 10 rubies, 11 rubies, or whatever number they use. They try to advertise that. Every shaft has a ruby that it sits within, and it spins, and that means that it won't wear out quite as quickly. Timex used metal. It was one of the reasons why they were so cheap and they were considered disposable. But as the sophistication of watches increased and general consumption increased, suddenly that became a no-no. And so it actually was the undoing of Timex. But you can just kind of see the features and details in there. There's a lot of detail, like you can kind of see up here on this top part right there. You can see that wave, almost looks like ripple marks. Yeah, there you go. There's just all of that in there. It's really beautifully crafted and just beautiful to look at. So that's kind of what I call euphemistically as the owner's special. When someone else has a really nice watch and I know you can see the back, I always ask them, do you mind if I look at it? And I always comment on the fact that they get to enjoy the inner workings. But it's a beautiful watch. I love the thickness. It's a manual watch. They're going to be thicker because there's a lot of gears and other such things in there. You'll notice that the glass kind of bubbles up, so you can see it actually bubble up, cross over, and then taper back down. So it actually gives it a nice effect. And here's what it looks like on my wrist. So we'll tighten that up. It's got the two little loops back here to keep this guy down. You can see it right here. So we'll just adjust that. So there it is. Oh my God. So going to Christmas Eve dinner tonight with Deirdre and her family. Damn straight, I'm going to be wearing this watch. And Jim, as a fellow watch guy, will definitely ask me to take it off and take a look. And I guarantee you, he'll flip it over and admire the inner workings as I do. Look at those hands. Gosh, it's hard to get a good focus, but look at those hands. They're almost 1930s kind of deco lines, just really, really beautiful. There's even finer details inside there that are really hard to see with the brightness, but you can just see it. It's just a really beautiful watch. I really appreciate it, Dad. It's a wonderful gift. You know that I will cherish it, and I'm sure Michael will say, "Hey, Dad, put it in your will. I want to make sure I get that one." So, anyways, thanks so much. Love you. Bye bye.